Women have right to safe abortion. It is the stand of Honorable Supreme Court of India in the case of a almost 24 weeks old pregnant unmarried lady. If you don't know the context, please see my previous video, but I will tell you the brief uh, story. So the story is that a lady from Manipur, she was very happily living with her partner in Delhi, and when she was 18 weeks of pregnancy, her partner left her in between, and now she has no choice. She wants to abort her pregnancy, and in that situation, she went to Honorable High Court of Delhi, and the Honorable High Court of Delhi denied the abortion on the basis of MTPA 1971 and the amended provisions of 2021. And further, she went to Honorable Supreme Court of India and appealed for the same. Her argument was that if law permits widowed or divorced women, then why not a unmarried woman? Because she does not want to continue with the pregnancy, and there is a social stigma associated with this situation. She is facing lots of mental trauma and mental distress. That's why she appealed for the abortion. So now, Honorable Supreme Court of India held that women have a right to safe abortion, and further argued. So basically, it's a pro-choice. We have discussed the pro-choice versus pro-life argument. What would you choose? Supreme Court of India has chosen the pro-choice, and further argued that denying an unmarried woman the right to safe abortion violates her personal autonomy and freedom. So it's a very important judgment, I would say, in terms of liberty of women and freedom. Court further said live-in relationship is already been allowed by the court in previous judgments. So if live-in relationships are allowed, are you getting my point? If living relationships are allowed, then why not the other liberal provisions should be allowed, like allowing the woman bodily autonomy or freedom of choice to decide if she wants to have a baby or not, because baby is her part of her body, and she must have the choice. But the other argument is also there. We will talk about that a few minutes later. But let us first discuss the arguments of the Honorable Supreme Court of India. So live-in relationships are already been recognized by the Supreme Court of India, and law could not be, Supreme Court of India said that law could not be used to quench the notion of social morality. It's a very deep statement, I would say. It can be applied to other areas as well. Social morality. So Supreme Court of India is definitely trying to press on the idea that there is a difference between law and social morality. Morality can be different. Social morality can be different from the law and the progressive ideas of the law. Here, Supreme Court of India is definitely emphasizing that law should not become the vehicle to quench the social morality. Like the society cannot, or society or the institution of the society cannot enforce its ideas with the help of law. Law should be should be based on the liberal modern principles. If laws are not according to that, it should be amended. Basically, social morality is not the basis of law, but the universal principles of liberty, freedom, equality, and many more things. Law should be based on all those constitutional ideas which we have, which our forefathers or the constitution makers have given us in the form of preamble or fundamental rights. So basically, law should transform itself to have all those ideas, not on the basis of society, or society cannot impose on the individual with the help of law. Basically, it is the meaning of this statement that law could not be used to quench the notion of social morality. It's a very, I would say, heavily loaded statement. It can be a statement of essay as well. Law cannot be used to quench the notion of social morality. Law cannot be used. So keep in mind this statement. You can use it in essays or any other play where you see that there is a difference between social morality and the liberal ideas and the modern ideas of liberty and freedom. If there is a difference, then this statement can be used. And unduly interfering in the personal autonomy and bodily integrity. So law could not be used to quench notion of social morality and unduly interfering in personal autonomy and bodily integrity. So these all are based on the earlier judgments, such as the Justice Puttasswamy judgment, where right to privacy was declared as the fundamental right. So if right to privacy is a fundamental right, then again these becomes very obvious and very intuitive things that it will be incorporated. The liberal ideas will be incorporated into the legal system or laws. If they are not in the law, then definitely law should be amended. So Supreme Court of India is precisely emphasizing that point, that we have already declared live-in relationships as legal. So what is the problem in having a unmarried woman getting her pregnancy aborted after maybe between 20 to 24 weeks, and even after that, if there is pressing need? So there are liberal laws. We have already discussed that up to 20 weeks the abortions are very liberal, but 20 to 24 weeks there are conditions, 7 categories of women, but in those categories unmarried women do not fall. But as cleared by the Honorable Supreme Court of India, the live-in relationships are allowed. That means, and one more argument, that the amendment of 2021, the court noted that 2021 amendment replaced the term husband with partner. So partner can be anybody, like live-in partner. So if that partner, if that term is there, then that means court is saying that it is clear signal that law covers unmarried women within its ambit. Unmarried women. So it's an inferred meaning. The unmarried woman term is not clearly written in the amendment, but because law uses the term partner, that means unmarried woman within its ambit. A woman's right to reproductive choice is an inseparable part of personal liberty. So reproductive choice, woman's reproductive choice is her personal liberty under Article 21 is an inseparable part. We cannot separate. So basically, if I would say that right to reproductive choice is a fundamental right, then it would be definitely true, because inseparable part of our personal liberty under Article 21, that means it's a part of Article 21, and Article 21 is a fundamental right. So if tomorrow a statement comes in the prelims examination that right to reproductive choice is a fundamental right or not, we would take it as a fundamental right. This is the preparation, this, because अब nobody will tell you कि ये fundamental का part है या नहीं. Coaching centers will interpret according to their choice and their understanding. But if you are reading the newspaper and if you are reading the statements of the Chief Justices of the Supreme Court of India or the High Court, where UPSC frames the statement, because this judgment clearly saying that the woman's right to reproductive choice is an inseparable part of her personal liberty under Article 21 of Constitution of India. That means it is a fundamental right. So right to reproductive choice is a fundamental right. We can interpret from here. Nobody will come and tell you that okay, this is that. You have to interpret it by yourself. This is the challenge of this preparation. People generally do not have that much confidence to interpret these things and believe firmly that okay, I have to do this. I have to basically consider this according to the judgment of Supreme Court. So under Article 21 of the Constitution of India, sacrosanct right to bodily integrity. Okay, so it's a part of sacrosanct right to bodily integrity. Forcing a woman to continue with pregnancy not only violation of bodily integrity but also aggravates her mental trauma. Forcing a woman to continue with pregnancy is a violation of bodily integrity, and it also aggravates the mental trauma. Supreme Court ordered that there should be a medical board, and it will see whether the abortion will be safe or not, and the board has to report within 1 week. So this is the process. Honorable Supreme Court of India held all of those things, and this judgment is very important for our preparation. If one question comes in prelims from this judgment, and that would be a boon for us, because we have covered each and every statement of justices, and I think this is enough. If we will further go into deep, then that would be a wastage of time. You have to look at the keywords like bodily autonomy, reproductive choice, right to reproductive choice, the bodily integrity, and the personal autonomy, and then the right to safe abortion. We can also interpret that right to safe abortion is a part of Article 21, because we are denying the personal autonomy if we are denying that. So it's basically trail, we can link further. So this is the entire article, and definitely we have looked into the judgment of Supreme Court of India. But now the question arises, the pro-choice versus the pro-life argument. Definitely we will go with the pro-choice argument, because our constitution, our Supreme Court of India has held in that way. But if we want to give some kind of like dissenting viewpoint, and if you want to incorporate the holistic view, then definitely you will give 1 or 2 points about the pro-life, because definitely there is a life inside the womb of a lady, and we cannot mercilessly kill that entity or that baby. There should be some pressing reasons. It's not a play of just killing something. ये बहुत ग्रेव सिचुएशंस में ही अलाउ करना चाहिए, जहाँ पर मदर की हेल्थ को काफ़ी इम्पेक्ट पड़ सकता है. So I would say there should be a balance, because Supreme Court of India has taken a very liberal and very pro choice and pro freedom liberty stand. But I would say there should be a balance in the sense that haphazardly, randomly, or basically just going there and having abortion it should not be allowed. There should be some basically regulation and very grave situation. And this is our law. Basically our law is very balanced. There is provision of one medical practitioner allowing approval, and the 2 medical practitioner and the medical board. So basically these institutions will definitely look into the aspect of the possibility of abortion. So as of now we are very clear that what would be our stand, so there should not be any confusion. Now let me discuss further, because we are discussing about the Supreme Court judgment on the issue of liberty of women. So basically these are very transformative kind of judgments which are basically empowering women in India. Okay, so इंडिया में वुमेन का एम्पावरमेंट में these जजमेंट्स आर वेरी हेल्पफुल. अगर हम दूसरे कंट्रीज़ के लॉज की बात करें, जो कि हमने यस्टरडे भी क्या था, थोड़ा सा डिस्कशन, रो वर्सेस वेड केस, रो वर्सेस वेड केस एंड द प्रोटेस्ट इन USA. Now and Dobbs versus Jackson Women Health Organization 2022. So Supreme Court of USA totally banned the provisions of abortion. So it's a very restrictive measure. सर ये तो बिल्कुल ही दूसरे एकदम कॉर्नर वाले स्पेक्ट्रम ऑफ लिबर्टी टू रिस्ट्रिक्शन. तो ये restriction and this is liberty. So most liberal, if we can see that India has 24 weeks, even even UK do not have 24 weeks provision, and other countries such as France, Italy, Nepal, these are also having 24 weeks of upper limit, 20 weeks of upper limit, sorry for that. So abortion is illegal in 24 countries and USA is one of them. So you can see how restrictive stand was taken by the Supreme Court of USA. Alright, अल सल्वाडोर की बात करें हम तो वुमेन आर फाउंड गिल्टी ऑफ अग्रावेटेड होमिसाइड इफ दे डू एबॉर्शन. तो बहुत ही रिस्ट्रिक्टिव पनिशमेंट्स हैं यहाँ पे. अल सल्वाडोर, माल्टा, बैन इन ऑल सर्कमस्टांसेस, सारी सर्कमस्टांसेस में बैन करेंगे जो कि यूरोपियन यूनियन का पार्ट है. पोलैंड नियर टोटल बैन, बस केवल रेप, इंसेस्ट और मदर्स लाइफ इन डेंजर, देन ओनली इट कैन बी allowed. So pro-life basically. Ireland 12 weeks in 2018, New Zealand 20 weeks in 2020. So basically Indian laws are more liberal than the other country. Even the Britain do not have as liberal laws on abortion as India is having. I think till now you are very clear. There's no confusion. There should not be any confusion in that. If you want to look into the provisions of law, and so you can check and go and check my previous video on the abortion laws. Now let me discuss further few points why we are studying this topic, how it can help. So prelims, basically I have already discussed that what kind of question can be asked. First of all, the provisions can be asked, like who are allowed and who are not. Second, how many weeks, 24 weeks, and what are the conditions, like failure of contraception, contraceptive method, or and then 7 categories which we have already discussed, like incest, rape survivor, incest, and then sexual abuse, minor, mentally challenged, physically challenged women in any emergency or disaster situation. So these are basically some grounds. Now in mains there might be a question based on the Supreme Court judgments empowering the woman or transforming the way of life of women. So transformative judgments by court, how would it impact our society? So अभी अगर हम देखें तो यहाँ पर एक I have not framed the question, but my point is that these are the transformative judgments and it has some impact on our society in terms of empowerment of women, or some negative impacts as well, because it creates a basically kind of moral hazard sometimes, that people misuse the law for their advantage. So there is a possibility in that context as well. So we have to look at the data schemes of Ministry of Women Child Development to justify our argument, and we have to have the idea of transformative judgments of Supreme Court of India. Okay, so issues with law, अगर हम देखें तो if we talk about issues with law, there is a journal of medical ethics. It says that 10 to 13% of maternal mortality happens due to the unsafe abortion, third leading cause of MMR. And if we see MMR, we have SDG 3 to reduce MMR. So SDG 3 target to reduce MMR to a certain level. Not availability of safe abortion infrastructure like clinics, public health hospitals, social stigma, and genetic disorders such as Down syndromes are not covered. Key steps taken by the government. First of all, comprehensive abortion care, safe and comprehensive abortion care program under RMNCH plus A under the National Health Mission. What is RMNCH? Is reproductive maternal, newborn, child and adolescent. Reproductive, maternal, newborn, child and adolescent program under the National Health Mission. CSE comprehensive abortion care guidelines are there, and funds for the information education campaign and the behavior change communication. Capacity building of medical officers, training, ANM and ASA confidential counseling, certificates to NGOs for comprehensive abortion care. If we see previous year questions based on the women situation, we can see that there was a question which was asking the empowerment of women due to impact on empowerment of women due to gig economy. Empowerment of women is key to control the population growth. Empowerment of women from the gig economy. सुप्रीम कोर्ट्स जजमेंट. अब हम ये भी कर सकते हैं कि एम्पावरमेंट ऑफ वुमेन फ्रॉम द सुप्रीम कोर्ट्स जजमेंट, तो हमें जजमेंट्स को थ्रो करना होगा वहाँ पे, लाइक 377 सेक्शन 377 ऑफ IPC, homosexuality that was decriminalized, live-in allowed, Sabrimala entry was allowed, triple talaq ban, Hadia case, right to choice of partner, Puttaswamy case, right to privacy. So these are the transformative judgments. Kha Panchayat guidelines. Sex workers are professionals and right to dignified life under Article 21. It was allowed by the Supreme Court of India. Voluntary sex work is not illegal. Voluntary sex work is not illegal. Only the brothels are, where the coercion is used to force women to involve in the sexual work. So that's why brothels are illegal. But if somebody who is voluntarily offering this work, so it's a profession basically, and it's one of the oldest profession of humanity. So court recognized that. Socio-economic impacts of IT industries in major cities. So in major cities, what are the impacts of socio-economic impacts of IT industries? This is also related to women. Challenges to women in India, time and space. So these are the main previous year questions. Challenges to women in India across time and space. Women's question in 19th century. So 19th century situation and then the reforms in women's condition. Basically you have to tell about those things like sati and all, sati reforms, sati widow remarriage, and then the stoppage of child marriage and the other polygamy and all. So these kind of reforms. Women movement has not addressed the issue of women in lower strata. So you should know the condition of women of lower strata and why the women's movement was not able to tackle those demand of those lower strata women. So basically it was talking about the national women conference 1927, Margaret Cousin and all, and the Stri Mahamandal, Bharat Mahila Parishad. These organizations were established by the upper middle elite women, and definitely they were not very much associated with the lower strata women and lower caste. Lower strata will definitely include the lower caste women, because definitely it's a very much correlated. And the next question is effects of globalization on women. So basically again talking about the impacts of something on women, impacts of this thing on women, impact of gig economy on women, impact of globalization on women, impact of IT industry on women, impact of Supreme Court judgment on women. So basically this is a very much similar thing, impacts of something on women. Sex ratio of STs and SCs, What's the difference? Why ST's sex ratio is more favorable than the SC's? Patriarchy, middle class working women, how does it affect? Again, impacts of patriarchy on middle class women, impacts of something on. So basically, my conclusion is that the UPSC is asking impacts of something on women. That something can be Supreme Court judgment, can be globalization, can be IT industry, can be STEM, science, technology, engineering, medicine, can be impacts of recent phenomena such as the COVID-19, whatever you can think of. So think, basically brainstorm what can impact the situation of women in India. Those becomes very much relevant for our examination, because UPSC generally ask the impact on women of something. So basically we have to look for those kind of things. I will solve all those questions and make the model answers if you want, and definitely you should comment whatever your queries are. If you have not understood something, then definitely you can comment, and I will make a separate video on that topic. And if you have reached till end, then definitely it's a very encouraging thing to us, and we'll keep making good content, and you keep supporting us and keep commenting, and basically keep learning and keep going beyond your own limit. Thank you very much.